Peace and blessings, and welcome yet again, guys, to yet another episode where today we're going to be discussing a topic that says that your own belief system is the one that is limiting you from achieving your desired reality. Have you ever heard about that? Or people usually tell you that the reason why you're not getting to your full potential is because of external components or it's because of external circumstances. And people tell you, you know what? It's because the government is doing this. It's because the politicians are doing this. But today I want to tell you and I want to bring to your conscious awareness that the majority part of the reason why you're stuck where you're stuck is because of your mindset. It is because of your own belief system. Your belief system is the one that is actually creating your current reality. I know this is not something probably that you don't want to hear and something that you're thinking to yourself, but how is this possible that my own belief system is creating my own reality? And this is the truth that we are going to unfold and bring to you today and help you understand how your own belief system is hindering you from transgressing to another level in your life, and how you can then be able to change your belief system so that you can be able to manifest the desired reality that you want to manifest into your own life. Now, why is it that, I was asking a question and I was looking at the church setup and I was asking myself, why is it that in church we are all in the same church but we have different wealth statuses? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Like, why is it that we are all in the same church? And I'm not talking about a different religion or a different church whereby you can say, okay, these ones attend a certain church. But I want you to look at your own church and ask yourself this question. Okay, now that we're in the same church, we believe the same thing, or we assume to believe the same things. We worship in the same God. But why is it that other people are more wealthier than other people? Is it because God has his own favorite people, or something is totally off about the way that we worship God? Is it because God puts special benefits to other people and other people he just lets them to suffer? Why is it that we all have different wealth statuses but we claim to be worshiping the same God? Why is that the case? And this is something I was asking myself, and I was asking God, but why is this the case? Why do we have different wealth statuses if we are all claiming to worship the same God? Why is it that this person is able to get so much while this person is suffering and this person is in the pits? Why is that the case? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And have you ever asked God that question? And these are things that I ask God, guys. And I ask him, God, it doesn't make sense. We are all gathered in the same place. And we claim to be worshiping you, and we claim to be saying that we worship the one and true God. But why is it that this person is suffering from this? This person is struggling financially, but whilst this other person is exceeding? Why is that the case? Have you ever asked yourself that question? And this is the same thing that I was asking God. And I was asking God, why is that the case? And God revealed to me and he said, you know what? This is because of our own belief systems. And God is actually amazed at the things that we believe in. And God is saying that, listen, it was not my design for someone to be suffering like that. But because of their own belief system and because of free will, I cannot force them to be living in a certain frequency because they have decided to stay in that certain frequency. Imagine, guys, God is saying, for you to be operating where you are, it is because you have chosen to operate in that specific state of mind. And because of free will, God cannot force you to operate at a certain frequency because he has given you free will for you to choose the desired reality that you want, for you to choose the type of life that you want to live. And this is the same thing that God was telling me. And according to my research, I've discovered that we get to experience God according to our own belief system and not according to who God is. Guys, can I repeat that? We get to experience God according to our own belief system and not according to who God is. So our own belief system is the one that is limiting us from experiencing who God really is. For God is not limited to our own belief system. Does it make sense, guys? Is it making sense to someone? God is not limited to your own belief system, but our own belief system is the one that is limiting us from experiencing who God really is. And it was in this state that God revealed to me and he said, you know what? All things are possible to him who believes. I want you to think about this. The Bible is saying all things are possible to him who believes. Poverty is possible. If you believe that you should suffer, it is possible because all things are possible to him who believes. This is the mindset that God was giving me in saying that other people are suffering because they believe they have to suffer. So they are going to suffer because they believe they have to suffer. Their own belief system of who God is making them to suffer because God is a God of choice. He cannot force you to think in a certain way. This is why God even says that be transformed by the renewal of your mind so that you can know the will of God. This is why even the Bible even says that if we ask for anything in his name according to his will, he shall grant it to us. So it is for us, therefore, to understand what is the will of God concerning our lives. Is the will of God for us to suffer? Is the will of God for us to be suffering with diseases? Is the will of God for us to be financially broke? No, for God says that I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper you and plans to give you an expected end. So whose belief system is this that has allowed us to make us think that has allowed us to think that we need to suffer? Whose belief system is that? This is the thing that God was bringing to me, guys, and I'm bringing it back to you today. That listen, it is your belief system that is allowing you to remain where you are. And unless you change, and unless you allow God to change your mind, unless you allow God to change the way that you think, the way that you reason, the way that you consume certain information, you are going to remain where you are. This is what God was reminding me, guys, and saying that be careful of what you believe to be true, for that is creating your reality, whether it is false or it is a fact. Just imagine whether you believe it to be true, whether you believe it to be false, whether it is a false thing or whether it is a fact. Whatever information that you imprint upon the mind, guys, that is going to become your belief system, and that is going to allow you to create a certain reality for yourself. This is why you need to be careful about the things that you read. Don't just read anything, guys. For whatever information you're going to imprint on the mind, your mind is going to take it as a fact, and that is going to create your belief system. So if you're spending your time reading the newspaper, listen, that is going to become your reality. That negative energy is going to become your negative reality in your own life. If you spend your time listening to the news and they're telling you about, know what, the news, this is going to happen, we're going to face so much challenges, they're going to face heat waves, and you're consuming all this negative, your life is going to be full of negative events. Because that is what you're expecting to happen in your own life. Now, whether you want to expect it, but because you're imprinting it upon the mind, guys, such a powerful tool, but you are misusing it in a way that is so bad. This is the environment that you are living in, guys. It's a spiritual warfare against your own mind. It's a spiritual warfare against your own mind. And I keep repeating this. It's a spiritual warfare against your own mind. This is why, as we're concluding our message for today, this is why the big corporations will invest everything they can to give you the latest shoe that is so comfortable for your feet. This is why the big corporations will invest everything that they can to give you the latest gadget, so that it can fry your brain. This is why the big corporations will invest greatly in making sure that you have anything external that does not benefit the mind, because they understand that if the mind is not well treated, it is going to give you bad results. So therefore, they cannot make you focus on the mind, because then they are going to run out of business. Understand today that it is your belief system that is creating your reality. Whatever things that you believe to be true, that is going to create your reality. whatever things that you believe to be true, guys, that is what you're going to see. If you think in the world there's no good opportunities, guess what? You're just going to keep seeing events that are going to cause you to see the bad side of the world, right? You're going to keep on seeing things that are bad so that you can keep manifesting that reality for yourself over and over and over again. And you sit into yourself and you're asking yourself, but I don't want this anymore. Why do I keep manifesting these results in my life? Today, I am here to tell you that it is because of your belief system. The information that you're putting onto your subconscious mind, it is creating your reality. Whatever things that you believe, the Bible says in the book of Mark, all things are possible to him who believes. So I want to ask you a question. What is it that you believe to be true? For that is creating your reality. And remember, our belief systems are limiting us from experiencing who God really is. For God is not limited to our belief systems, but our belief systems are limiting us from experiencing who God really is. Now, with that said, guys, that is the end of our message for today. May the peace of God and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with you now and forevermore. Now, until we meet again next time, ciao.